What up, what up, what up? How everybody doing tonight on the season finale of the Run and Gun podcast? Season 8, I should say. Season 8's finale of the Run and Gun podcast.
This is technically episode 15, but yeah, hold on, we'll fix it real quick. This is
I don't know. I'm just reading off what's on the top. Anyways, congrats to the Boston Celtics for being the 2024 NBA champions. My enthusiasm is through the roof, guys. As you can see,
the most
worst finals of the last decade. Anyways,
the finals we've seen. Honestly, it's not even. Let me stop because
I'll say this: the Stanley Cup. I haven't watched much of it, but the last 2 games have been decent.
Yeah, no, honestly, I watched it with great intrigue last night, and I felt, I was like, what's going tonight? Florida's going to get there first, and then that wasn't the case. But
if Edmonton does this, man, that is going to be so sweet.
From a 3-0 deficit, not even.
We'll talk about it in Hot Topics more, so I'm gonna save all that talk for later. But anyways, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. We're gonna recap the NBA Finals. We had a big trade come down today. Well, not even really a big trade, more like a fleece. Anyways, we also have a new head coach in LA.
It's
first-time head coach. That is, I want to say something about that later though, because it's kind of double-sided how we're handling that. Continue.
It's funny how that happened. Like ironically, as I was watching a certain show on Hulu, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But yeah, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, leave comments and stuff. We're also gonna talk about a key addition that was also added today by who. So, don't go anywhere. Intro's next. Ironically, they had an addition after we had them last Friday. But yeah. Intro's next. Don't go anywhere. Get comfortable. It's going to be a fun one season finale. Let's go.
Okay, what's going on, guys? This is GP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to the Run and Gun podcast.
All right.
I'm just screenshotting something real quick so I can send it to you.
Let's talk about these additions, or you want to talk about the finals first?
Let's go and talk about. Let's talk about this. You have a bad feeling about this. Hold on a second.
Would you screenshot something and send me it? I have a bad feeling.
No, never a bad feeling. Maybe you may get a little tickled, make a little laugh out of it, but just check your Instagram.
Anyways, let's talk about these additions. Let's check these additions that we've gotten since Friday.
So, as y'all know, we just had Coach Henry on, who's the O-line and offensive coordinator for Florida A&M and stuff. By the way, thank you so much, Coach Henry. If you are watching this evening, thank you so much for joining us last week. Also, thank you to Miss Coach Henry as well for, being the middleman as we communicated back and forth to get him on and everything, because we know he is a busy individual. So let's go into it. Literally about a week later, what happens today? FAMU steals a commit along the offensive line from Bethune, from Austin P, a transfer offensive lineman Christian Wingfield, who I think I saw listed at 6'7", another towering player, 6'7", 300 pounds, I think. Let me go just double check it. So, yes, 6'7", 330 pounds offensive lineman from Austin P commits to FAMU. I'm going to tell y'all now, FAMU's offensive line is about to probably be better than it was last year. This may be the best one we've seen yet. I was just thinking this to myself before I came on here with Ace. What Coach Colsey's doing and what Coach Henry's doing, I am going to be real with y'all. They're going to play bully ball with a lot of people. They're going to bully people. That's what they want to do. They're going to line up. They want to physically push people around, batter people with that running game. You may not see a heavy throwing team this year. I'm just going to tell y'all now, get ready. The way that they're structuring this offensive line in both sides of the trenches, they want to bully people and push people around. That way when fourth quarter comes, you're sucking wind. You're like, man, what's the secret juice they have? They are literally going to beat people in the trenches, and they're going to do all the way to trying to repeat again for another Celebration Bowl. Nobody's three, and honestly, I'm telling you this now, nobody's three-peated for a Celebration Bowl since A&T. But the way this team is being built, they have the dogs to do it. And they have a returning offensive line from last year's Celebration Bowl led by, oh my gosh, Ashton Grable. So, dude, it's about to get real.
You know, the offensive line work. Well, he's not like the offensive coordinator, but he was formerly the. And ironically, they go and get a guy who's a behemoth, literally just sitting less than 7 days from when we had him on. And he was already hyping up that O-line, man. And now he's getting another dog in there. Woo, boy.
And the thing is obviously, you know, like Coach can't, obviously, for those of you watching that are wondering, like, oh, well, and those of you that ask, like, oh, hey, ask about this guy, ask about this guy. I can't ask about those guys because of NCAA rules. Believe it or not, the NCAA, regardless of how free players are nowadays and as free as things are now, you still can't ask about certain kids until they get on campus. So some of the kids that some of you ask about are not on campus yet. So therefore, I can't ask him about those kids. Now, what I can say is that kid from Washington State, who's like a freak athlete that reminds me of Tristan Wirfs, don't worry, he's on his way. That's what I can say from what I know, not having a direct conversation with Coach, but just knowing that he committed, he's on his way. He's on his way, along with a lot of others.
Just it hasn't been finalized, but it's more or less done.
Exactly. He's a commit. He's on his way. That's what we'll call it. That's just me seeing what I see on Twitter like the rest of you.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God truth, cross my heart, hope to die. So that being said, yes, this offensive line I think is going to be much improved from last year. Still got Jalen Goss. I think they have TJ Demis in a coaching capacity this year rather than a player capacity. But this offensive line is going to be nastier.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, also, too, guess who Ohio State just signed on for a matchup with for next year?
They ducked UConn for it. It's for Grambling, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they ducked UConn for that one.
Honestly,
UConn's game, and they went and got Grambling, which ironically, I have a feeling I don't think Grambling's gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a type of situation where, like, okay, we're gonna have Grambling play for like a homecoming type of game, just because they want a soft body in there, proverbially speaking, to get an easy win so they can feel good with the fans and the kids and the building, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, the whole hoopla that comes with it.
I agree. And
sometimes it backfires, I'm just saying.
I agree. Honestly, dude, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think Grambling's going to win that game, but it is.
No, they're not going to win, but sometimes it does backfire. So I won't say it's zero chance.
Yeah, no, this is a historical moment that you're seeing between the two. Because you think on one end you had Woody Hayes, and on the other end you had Eddie Robinson. You know, Woody Hayes, Jake Gaither, they were good friends. Woody Hayes and Eddie Robinson were great friends. Even Eddie Robinson and Bear Bryant, they were great friends. As much as some of you want to call Bear Bryant a racist, which honestly, you go talk to someone like Sylvester Croom and God rest his soul, Eddie Robinson will probably tell you too. Bear Bryant was not a racist. Honestly, personally too, I have family members that can vouch for that as well. So there it is. But, you know, I think that this matchup is well well overdue. This should have happened back when both those guys were the coaches at their respective schools. Because I think it's ironic now. It's like you want to bring a Grambling in there now. Why didn't you bring him back in there back in the 50s? You were scared to get your ass kicked? That's what it was. You knew Grambling would have went in there and beat him back then. Or the refs would have probably cheated to get Ohio State to win. I'm just saying.
That is the truth of it.
So, yeah. Also, too, we weren't live yesterday, but happy Juneteenth or happy belated Juneteenth to everybody. Hope everybody had a great day. Hope everybody
We had the day off. I'm just kidding, but we had stuff to take care of for that.
Yeah, no, we had some stuff to take care of. Well, I personally had some stuff to take care of on my end.
Hey, I got food from the potluck at my mom's work, so I can't complain about it.
Can they cook, though? Could they cook?
When I tell you, but how do I say this without thing? So where my mom works is you know where Talitas live?
Yeah.
It's that whole area. So you could tell they know how to cook down there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you were well taken care of.
My mom has the how do I say this? I'm trying to think. She's basically like the mother of all the younger black ladies in that building. Like she fits right in with them. She rides with them, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Let's just leave it like that and move on. She's the honorary black member of the building. Bro, I swear they that's the whole thing with them. That whole relationship is insane. Get food out of it, just I can't complain.
Hey, look, you're well taken care
of. They make
of.
so much, you guess. Can't complain about that.
Well taken care of, man. As you know. Also, too, the kickoff time was announced for FAMU and Mississippi Valley. So this is probably the first time I've seen FAMU kick off a football game north of 3 o'clock ever since they've been in the SWAC and in a long time. So this kickoff time will start at 1 o'clock p.m. in Bragg. It'll be basically a preseason matchup between FAMU and Mississippi Valley before the Florida Classic. I would expect to see a situation similar to the FAMU Lincoln game with that one because at that point, let's be honest, Mississippi Valley is going to probably, if not them, they're going to probably finish. If not them, it'll probably be someone else finishing in last in the East. Just going to call it what it is.
Yeah, Mississippi Valley was won like 2 games, I think, last year, right? Or 1?
I think they won 1 or 2 last year.
That's what I think. I think it was like 2. They were bad.
It's crazy. It's like you look back at their history when Jerry Rice was there, that 84 season, they were averaging 60 points a game.
Yeah, they've fallen off. Bring it back.
Dude, honestly, I don't know how in the world you fall like that from grace. It's crazy. That was their only loss.
Our management.
Yeah. Their only loss that
season
was Alcorn. That was their only loss. But yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. I don't get it.
It's rough.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we move on?
Oh, no, not really.
Cool. So you want to slide on to which part now?
Oh, we can slide on. You want to do the hot topics, or do you want to do the NFL first?
Yeah, we'll do a decent portion of NBA at the end. So we have to discuss the whole finals breakdown. So we'll save the best for last, I guess.
But all right, cool. So that means
do this quick.
I can start with this.
No.
But he said this isn't enough to feed his family, man.
It's Texas. Texas is cheaper than most places to live. It is. Texas is cheaper.
I guess
not cheaper than Florida, but then again, Florida's getting expensive now. So
I was gonna say Florida and California are pretty expensive places to live, but I think yes, you have a point. So, but honestly, I wouldn't. Nah. I think, and honestly,
this is a no-brainer. No. Then again, Trevor Lawrence got more money than Joe Burrow, which makes no sense whatsoever.
I agree.
Trevor Lawrence getting $55 million a year is got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. But then again, he is the only reason why fans come to watch him, and they have to make sure he's on the team, locked in because they're renovating the stadium and they need fans in the seats. and he's the only way they can. So they're banking on him still playing like how he was in Clemson. Then again, he still wasn't better than Joe Burrow when he was in Clemson. So,
which is true. It's funny that someone said it. They were like, seeing how much Trevor Lawrence got makes you appreciate the fact that the Bucs paid Baker Mayfield 3 years, $100 million. I was like, the Bucs played it so much safer giving Baker what he got versus the Jaguars giving Trevor Lawrence what he got. Because I'm like, has this man won a playoff game? He won one playoff game.
More playoff wins than Derek Carr, who got 40. So I can't say nothing. I don't know if the $15 million playoff win bonus is a thing, but then again, Daniel Jones got $5 million more than Carr, and he's younger and he got a playoff win. So I don't know. There's a little playoff win extra bonus, I guess you got to have. But then again, Baker Mayfield got what? A playoff. He's got 2 playoff wins, I believe. He beat the Steelers with the Browns.
Yes.
And he beat the Eagles with the Bucs. So he has 2 playoff wins, and he's only getting 33, I think, a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you now. If you had to choose between all those quarterbacks you just all right, you know what? I'm gonna do it like this. You had to choose between Dak, Baker, Trevor, Daniel, or your boy New Orleans. Who you taking?
Oh, and they're like all in the same on their current contracts right now.
If you had to take one of those guys as
their deals
as a young OC, who are you taking? As a young upstart.
Okay, how do I say this? All right, so talent-wise, I would take Lawrence, but contract-wise, what compared like in addition to what their contracts are, yeah, definitely Baker, because I can get out of that so easy.
That's fair.
I wouldn't pay Dak Dak's not worth $60 million because he has, I believe, 3 playoff wins at the most. I think he only has 2 actually.
Yeah, because he beat Tampa, and
he beat Seattle a while back.
Yeah. But every other time they've gotten there, they've just blown it. Like recently, Green Bay went into Dallas, and you know what's funny? I told myself that morning, I was like, it would be.
I knew before that game. I was like, Jordan Love, he's gonna just continue to own them. Dak Prescott playoff.
I told myself it would be something if Dak went in there and laid an egg. Also, speaking of, did you see my DM I sent you?
Well, that made no sense. Dak Prescott is 2-4 in the playoffs.
Pitiful.
So that means the only wins he's had is against an injured Seahawks back in 2019, I believe. So 2017 lost 1-and-done divisional round to Aaron Rodgers. That was the Jared Cook catch, Rodgers on the sideline play.
Mm-hmm.
2019 lost to the Rams. That was in the divisional round. That was the year the Rams won and won the Super Bowl. 22 lost to the 49ers in the wild card. Got beat down bad.
You said, what did you say Dak Prescott's record in the playoffs was?
2-4.
Guess who else's playoff record that was a former Cowboys quarterback was?
Tony
Romo's record was also 2-4.
Yeah, same dude basically.
Lost the wild card to Seattle, and then
23 beat the Bucs with Brady. Then they got blown the smithereens off their behinds. Mm-hmm. Like their behinds just got clean shaven. Shut up. Pretty much, you could fill in the blank of what I'm trying to say with that game. And then obviously this year, Jordan Love came in. Romeo Doubs turned him into prime James Jones. I don't know what the hell was going on with Romeo Doubs that game. But the man said, hey, I'm going to channel my inner James Jones and just wreck the hell out of the Cowboys. Now Cowboys go and they get, what's his name? Josh Jacobs. I don't know if he's much of an upgrade to Aaron Jones, but Aaron Jones was also having trouble staying healthy, which is the biggest problem with that. And then A.J. Dillon's terrible, so I can't take too much in that. But they got that dude, Marshawn Lloyd, I believe his name is. He looks to be potentially decent as a second guy, like a running mate for Josh Jacobs. I don't think A.J. Dillon's that. A.J. Dillon sucks.
I'm gonna put this into perspective as far as Cowboys quarterback playoff records. So you see right here, right off the bat, Romo and Dak have combined for a 4-8 record as quarterbacks in the playoffs for the Cowboys. I'm just gonna put that into perspective for you. This is what you have Cowboys fans clinging on to. This is what everybody is clinging on to.
What year was that? What year is Troy Aikman's last with the Cowboys?
His last playoff appearance, I want to say, was '96, and that was his 5th loss, and that was to the Carolina Panthers.
Let's put it into perspective. Tony Romo and Dak Prescott have less playoff wins than Kendrick Lamar played not like us last night.
Let the church say amen. But yes, this is what you all, of the 31, whoever's a Cowboys fan, this is what you're holding on to. That is a regular season before the extension into Week 18. This is a full regular season. That's basically what that is. One of these losses is to Barry Sanders, I think like the first one, and the last one is to a newborn Carolina Panthers team that just came into the league. I can't speak for what the other two. Oh, I think one of these is to.
Let me Google it.
San Francisco in 90.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it just to be sure on what Troy Aikman playoff record. Because I'll just pull up his win losses. All right, 92. He lost to Detroit. That was the Barry Sanders one.
Yep.
93. Beat Philadelphia. Beat San Francisco. Beat Buffalo. Won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
94. Beat the Packers. Beat San Francisco. Beat Buffalo. Wait, he beat Buffalo back-to-back years in the Super Bowl. Oh, that was when Buffalo went 0-4.
That was the latter half of Buffalo's repeat because the first
0-4.
Yeah. First two was the Giants and then the Redskins at the time, and then the last two were the Cowboys.
95 beat the Packers, then lost to San Francisco in the championship game. So he didn't even go one and done that year.
Mm-hmm.
96 beat the Eagles, beat the Packers, beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And he also beat Minnesota in that run. 97 lost to Carolina. That's a new one. 99 lost to Arizona in the wild card.
I didn't even know about these.
He lost to Carolina in the divisional, and he lost to Arizona in the wild card, and then lost to Minnesota in 2000.
I didn't know about those two.
So basically, he went one and done. It looks like 3 years after he won the Super Bowl in '96.
So basically,
the next 3 times he went one and done.
Up until those last 3 losses, this man was 11-2 in the playoffs. This man was 11-2. That's impressive.
Sheesh.
Did this with no in his helmet. Did this in a time when you could basically just tee off on quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And did this for the latter half of it after 94. He did the majority of it basically without Jimmy Johnson. Crazy.
Putting into perspective of why we should not give Dak Prescott $60 million.
I'm telling you, dude.
Now, I will say it is the Jared Goff contract, right? Jared Goff had at least made it to the Super Bowl. If you want to argue that was Todd Gurley in the defense more so than Jared Goff, you can make that argument for that. But Jared Goff was also the quarterback that was in the Super Bowl, albeit he lost that Super Bowl. Jared Goff is also the dude who took the Detroit Lions. Like, he got traded away from Detroit, traded away from LA. Same team went to the Super Bowl. Less than 2 years later, he got traded to Detroit with a first-round pick for Matthew Stafford, who went and won a Super Bowl with that team. Jared Goff got relegated to the dumpster land because they said, okay, we'll just cap dump you, bring in Goff, win a Super Bowl, whatever. Goff went. No, man was in the NFC Championship game and won more playoff games than Dak Prescott had in one run.
I think, honestly, And either way, it comes down to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones and all of you Cowboys.
Same amount of playoff wins, I should say, as Dak Prescott in one run.
All of you need to look in the mirror and ask yourselves, for the next 12 years at least, or next 8 years, do you see yourself winning a championship with Dak Prescott? Do you see yourself in the NFC Championship with him?
Dak Prescott is this generation Joel Embiid of football.
Jerry Jones is literally the obstacle holding that team back. Literally.
I'm trying to pull up who did the Lions play in the wild card. I'm forgetting, and I should remember, and I can't.
The Lions, they played the Rams, and they beat the Rams.
Yeah, that's right, because Goff versus Stafford was it, and then they beat the Bucks.
Yes. Which, by the way, speaking of,
when you want to think about it, right? In the last century, well, in the last decade, I should say, not the last century, my bad. No, it's the last century. When did Tony Romo get benched? Was 2017? So last 7 years?
It was like 2016 because Tony Romo
2016
playoff appearance.
That got drafted in 2016. So yeah. So in the last 8 years, Detroit and Dallas Cowboys have had the same amount of playoff wins.
And one has more NFC Championship game appearances than the other. Since 2000.
This is the way how it works for Dallas.
In the last 20 years, one has more NFC Championship appearances than the other.
This is our season finale. We're talking about the Cowboys. We're just making fun of them.
Hey, you know,
it's been needed to have.
It's a conversation.
Anyways, speaking of teams, his 1990s dominated teams, the San Francisco 49ers, are they 80s? Were they 80s or 90s? I think
they were also a dynasty in the 80s. Like 81, 81, 83, 81, 80.
We don't need to run through what years they won Super Bowl. I like
just over
the pre 2000s dynasty type team.
Yeah,
that's it. The 49ers. Brandon Aiyuk is saying the 49ers don't want me. I mean, he ain't exactly wrong. They went and drafted 2 wide receivers this year. Paid Jawan Jennings. Paid Christian McCaffrey a pay raise. And he was the best wide receiver by a mile. Because Deebo Samuel could not get open for his life with those brick feet he has.
Aside from Christian McCaffrey, best route runner on that team.
He's the best receiver and route runner on that team. Like, McCaffrey's not better than him at receiving. But like Aiyuk, without Aiyuk, 49ers ain't going to the Super Bowl. They can say what they want.
I would agree.
They wouldn't have beat Seattle without Aiyuk.
I 100% agree. 100%.
So San Francisco can be like, okay, we're going to take this dude, Ricky Pearsall, end of the first round to replace you, whatever. Cool. Name me a wide receiver from Florida in the last decade who's actually been good in the first round. I'll wait. Then again, he might actually be good and just break that whole trend because, like, CJ Stroud broke the Ohio State curse. I don't know. But anyway, you get my point.
No, I got you.
So, you're trying to not pay the man. Okay, fine. We saw what Justin Jefferson got paid. Brandon Aiyuk is watching that payday. T. Higgins signed his franchise tag, so he's going to play on that. San Francisco doesn't have the franchise tag. Another guy, I don't think. Then again, they can also just like launder out some money and pay it out to how do I say this, cap manipulation like the other teams do because they don't have an owner who's cheap as hell like the Cincinnati Bengals have. So, you know, that's that whole thing there. But if they wanted to, they could have paid him, but they don't. It feels like with the whole Aiyuk situation, they're just waiting to OTA or waiting to training camp now that OTAs are finished. And they're saying, all right, we're going to watch these teams and we're going to see, y'all want a wide receiver?
He's going to make him regret it. He's going to make him regret it too. He just has to go show.
Even if that like thing, you want to say, okay, fine. You want to, I don't even know where he can go and be good unless you want to say, I really don't know. I mean, maybe like Buffalo, but Buffalo don't have no money. That's the issue with Buffalo.
They're going to ship him out of the NFC.
They're going to ship him definitely out of the conference, which is why I'm looking at maybe Pittsburgh lost Deontay Johnson. I mean, do you trust George Pickens and Roman Wilson to be your top 2 wide receivers?
I like George Pickens. Roman Wilson, I think rookie year, we got to see what he does. We'll see about the quarterbacks he has as well. Me personally, I'm looking at Denver for him. Denver, Maybe even not Miami. Miami's too crowded. But
definitely not Miami. Maybe a New York Jets.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad either. Him and Aaron.
But they just paid. They gave Mike Williams a 1-year deal, so I don't know about that.
Or even,
and they got Garrett Wilson, whose payday is coming up next offseason.
Or even too, if they were to leave him in the NFC, ship him somewhere where they feel like we'll never see you in the playoffs or we'll never see you get out of your division. Maybe ship him off to Washington.
I'm gonna just throw it out here: T. Higgins for Brandon Aiyuk straight.
That's not bad either.
But then again, that's two teams who don't want to pay wide receivers. So
yeah. So
that's the whole thing about that.
Another problem.
LA Chargers, but LA Chargers have no money. He could definitely go to Chargers, and that would be a perfect fit for Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Just plug him in, give Herbert a guy, pay him, but owners got to pay the man.
Yeah.
I feel like the Chargers would be the best spot for him right now. It's just the Spanos, if they still own him. I think they still own it.
Yeah, the Spanos.
They got to pay.
The Chargers.
Spanos are cheap as hell, so you never know about that.
That's the reason why the Chargers can't win the championship. That is the main reason.
Owners matter.
Think about how many good teams the Chargers have had since
Phillip Rivers. The Phillip Rivers era, they've been crazy good. They just
I'm gonna go back to Dan Fouts and Kellen Winslow Sr. All those good teams they had never got a championship. And the one time that they got to the Super Bowl, they got demolished.
Mm-hmm. And you had guys like Ronnie Harrison, Antonio Gates, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen. I'm forgetting the running back. Damian Tomlinson. They have had a couple more guys I'm forgetting.
And Darren Sproles, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Darren Sproles started off with the Chargers, I believe.
They had Drew Brees.
Yeah, I said that one already. Yeah. They had more guys on that defensive side of the ball. I'm forgetting.
Oh, they had Junior Seau.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had Junior Seau.
And Asante Samuel was there too. The senior.
He was a Patriot.
He was Patriot first, and then
I think he made.
I would have swore he played. I would have swore he played for the Chargers at one point before the Sun played there. So I don't know. Anyways, Chargers have had good teams. Owner don't want to pay. That's on them. Now, what else we got here? I found this one funny. JJ McCarthy screwed up the first pitch with Dallas Turner so bad, and then they announced Sam Darnold was starting, some crap like that. It's like a joke.
Yeah. It was because they said they want.
That makes sense. So we knew JJ had to sit to learn for a bit.
The best quarterbacks end up sitting anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If we're being honest, look at Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith knew that was his replacement, and he sat and learned. He took his time and he waited. And look what you
most
have.
recently, Jordan Love.
Exactly, and Jordan Love sat. I mean,
and then you have the guys like Fields, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, none of whom sat for very long. They sat maybe a couple games, like 3 games, where they started right away.
I always forget.
All 3 of them are on a different team now.
I always forget that Mac Jones sat behind Cam Newton for literally
2 games.
Yeah, 2 games. I always forget that.
And Fields sat behind Andy Dalton for 3 games. Came in for 3 games, got benched for Andy Dalton back again. And that ruined his development right there, where Matt Nagy was like, I want to win with Andy Dalton. I believe in Andy Dalton because he had that good run with the Cowboys as a backup, and I think he could do it. But then I also have to get this young guy to play, but then I'm like, I'm going to screw his development up.
It's funny. It's funny how this all works in the grand scheme of things, because I think back to that interview that Johnny Manziel did with Shannon Sharp, where he was saying that when he was in Cleveland, I think it was Brian Hoyer was there.
Yeah.
McCown was there. Josh McCown did everything in his power to help him to be a pro and how to prepare. But I think it was Brian Hoyer was very standoffish and didn't want to help him. So you have to think about it too, is how much of this goes into the guys in the room with you, helping you get ready. And then you go look at a situation, you flip the page and go to the ultimate extreme, and you look at, say, Tom Brady going through his preparation with Belichick, and he's doing an interview where he says, Monday through Friday, is where we did most of our preparation. By Saturday, we weren't even nervous. We knew what we had to do. I spend maybe 30 minutes with the QBs in the QB room going through the different checks of what defenses do and what to check to and everything such as that. And basically saying like, no, like there's no if the defense wins, the defense just wins. It's the defense is not going to beat us at all because we're going to be on our P's and Q's. I'm like, damn, like you go from this and what Brady's dealing with to thinking like, dang, that's what Johnny Manziel had, and that's why Cleveland was so bad, and that's why the culture always is the product is a result of the culture, and it was evident.
All right, you mentioned Josh McCown. I think that's a great transition point to take us to the NBA before we talk about the finals. I mean, because it's kind of a mix of NFL talk with NBA talk. So let's take us over to hot topics so I can talk about this. We're gonna go into story time. Not even story time. It's gonna be more of like a discussion time. All right. I'm waiting for him to switch the background before I do it.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Cool, because we're gonna spit some heat here. All right. So you remember when what's his face? Lovie Smith got hired, right? They wanted to hire Josh McCown. Texans.
Okay. Yeah.
You remember that whole thing where the Texans were like, okay, we're gonna sign Josh McCown out of the media room, get him as a head coach. We're gonna get a guy in the draft, develop him, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And the whole media still had to fire the storm saying, oh, you can't do that, blah, 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 right? You remember that whole discussion about that where it's like everybody got mad that they were trying to gift white quarterback, hasn't really done anything proven-wise, coaching-wise, a head coaching job. Oh, my God. Does that sound familiar to something that just happened today in the NBA?
Yes, it does, actually.
And not a single soul has mentioned it because it's the Lakers.
It's so funny because it's so funny that you mentioned JJ Redick. I was just watching.
I have nothing against JJ Redick. I swear to God. I'm just saying it's like, man, he didn't coach any form of basketball that I'm aware of.
Dude, Jason Kidd got a job, and I didn't even think Jason Kidd
was all Kidd and Steve Nash aren't even good coaches. Like Steve Nash, same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what all three of them have in common? We won't even talk about that right now. Anyways. You get what I mean. Steve Nash didn't even last 2 years with Brooklyn. They thought he played the game, he can do it, he can work with the players, whatever. I don't know if it's because basketball's less players to relate to. It's more of if you play the game, everybody has a position similar, unlike football where every position is so much different than the other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very sure what the way of thinking is there for so many cases of it to be happening in the NBA, but it's like you don't see players from the other side go retire, do a year of media, and then be head coach of second most storied franchise of the NBA now.
Yeah.
The other side of it got number 18, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, you see what I mean on that. It's like, I mean, JJ Redick could have been a great head coach, but like start him off as an assistant first to get his feet wet and see how it works, and throwing him into the firestorm that is the LA Lakers with LeBron James, also LeBron is coaching the team.
It's funny enough that it's like you look back at it, I think 6 coaches have been fired as a result of LeBron James. And then you think about it, you hear the story of how he wanted Eric Spoelstra fired and Pat Riley put his foot down.
Nah.
No. And it's like,
and hasn't that worked out for Miami? So
Miami, dude, honestly, I can tell you now, Miami may not win it every year, but Miami is there. And that's all you ask for. You just want your team to be there when push comes to shove. So kudos to Pat Riley for not firing Eric Spoelstra and then giving him a raise after the divorce was finalized.
I mean, yeah, those two are boys. They're like ultimate boys.
Dude, that's a power move, man. That's a power move.
That's drop your balls and sack them.
Exactly. And then it's like, if anything, if you look at it, really, Eric Spoelstra is a huge catalyst and huge reason why
Miami's had the success. Oh, that too, yeah.
Why LeBron's got 2 rings. And also Miami's long-term sustained success. I always looked at the Spurs as a team that I felt should never be bad because of the way that they develop people and things such as that under Greg Popovich. But I look at the Heat have taken the Spurs formula. They develop players, do what they have to do. They pay them well, take care of them, and then they build them up from the ground up. And now you have the product you have. Sprinkling a couple free agents here and there. I like what Miami does.
When you look at San Antonio, right? Sure, they've been bad since I want to say 21. I believe once they traded DeJounte Murray, that's when they were blatantly tanking, like obviously tanking, like that was intentional, not so much as like that was a organization decision to do what they did, right? So I feel like with Popovich as a coach, you could just put NBA caliber players and you could win 30, 40 games with Popovich.
Yeah.
You're gone, and you had literally like Derek White, DeJounte Murray, Jakob Poeltl, I believe, was on that team. They took Denver. They knocked out Denver Derek White had Denver in the grinder that year, and I'm trying to remember what year it was. But they pushed Denver far with just not even like superstar players. It was just like role players, DeJounte Murray, and that was it. That team took Denver, and they were pushing them good. Then they obviously tanked, and you're like, okay, but probably no. They were obviously tanking for Wembanyama. They're gonna come back next year. They're gonna get Wemby, probably Trae Young. I don't think they bring back DeJounte, but Trae Young, a couple guys in the draft could work for him. There's a dude up in Spain, I believe it is. He plays almost exactly like how Tony Parker did.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you get Wemby, a guy who could run a pick and roll somewhat semi-competently. No offense to Trey Jones. He's all right, but like, get a guy who runs pick and roll, get Wemby a lob threat. They're going to be in the playoffs running next year, guaranteed. Right back in it. Coaching matters. You got a team, how do I say this nicely?
That's developing properly.
Yeah, so Toronto Raptors, right? Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year, got fired. They went and they hired Nick Nurse, his assistant, to replace him. It wasn't like a nobody with no experience kind of thing, right? Milwaukee hired Jason Kidd. I mean, Giannis liked him. He developed somewhat decently, but that team wasn't winning squat. You saw it in the finals with Jason Kidd. Those rotations were terrible.
Yeah.
Man was playing Maxi Kleber, who was trash. Shouldn't even be in the NBA right now, no offense to him. Tim Hardaway Jr., outside of one game, was the worst in prime Alfred Payton. Oh, shut up. No offense to Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton's a great guy. Never mind. I will not do that to Alfred Payton. I'm trying to think of the worst guy I can think of. Who's the worst?
Who's the first? Who's
the worst NBA player you could think of off the top of your head?
Lonzo Ball.
No, Lonzo's actually decent. I can't even hate on Lonzo. I feel bad for him. I can have a whole discussion on that actually. No,
Oh, I know where you're gonna go with that.
No, I'm gonna talk about the Bulls in a minute. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to them. That needs a whole discussion, and it's only 42 minutes in. I have enough time to talk about finals, this whole tirade I'm on right now, and the Stanley Cup. So don't worry, we're gonna get into Lonzo Ball and the Bulls. But I'm thinking, Cloud, who's the worst player you've ever seen play? I've seen so many bad ones. I can't think of one.
Worst player I've ever seen play. Sheesh. I mean, I don't really know. They were all. I always watched all the good ones. It's like I watched them closely and stuff.
Ignas Brazdeikis. Tank Commander Ignas Brazdeikis. I'm probably saying that name so wrong. But Magic fans know who I'm talking about. Tank Commander in 22. That's the worst guy I could think of off the top of my head. Anyways, Tim Hardaway Jr. could not hit the side of his barn in that playoff. And they were, I mean, he can catch fire or whatever. Dude was trash. He was straight trash. And then you started playing Dante Exum game 5, I believe it was. Miraculously, you start winning.
Hey.
Or was it game 4? Game 3, I don't even remember which game it was. They started playing Dante Exum. They started looking, but they kept riding Tim Hardaway, kept riding Maxi Kleber.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? fell apart. Jason Kidd, same situation as Steve Nash, except he's got Luka Doncic healthy. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
And now JJ Redick, LeBron James had that one podcast where they broke down everything, and I guess everybody said, "Oh my God, this is gonna work." I mean, did you hear who he was thinking about getting as his assistant coaches? I mean, they're all former players and stuff. So I mean, you never know. You could always find a diamond in the rough in his assistant coaching staff, maybe.
We said for
But
JJ.
yeah, JJ Redick, who he's looking at, right?
Rajon Rondo, one of them.
Rajon Rondo, Jared Dudley, and Scott Brooks are candidates for his Rocket staff per Shams, right? Jared Dudley as your coach, really? I mean, he was a OG vibe man in Brooklyn when he was there trolling Ben Simmons. That was hilarious. But outside of that, the dude sucked. No offense to him. From what I saw, he was terrible. So I don't know how good of a coach he could be. Rajon Rondo, he's got a great basketball IQ in mind, so it might work. But it's just more than basketball IQ when it comes to coaching, because you have to have situational awareness for your like rotations, whatnot.
I agree.
So it could work, could not work. I just feel like you should have probably, when it comes to LeBron James teams, if you're JJ Redick, it's like, you know, the second something goes bad, you're getting scapegoated.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%.
So I mean, like, JJ, if I was you, bro, I would have took, maybe if you wanted to be a first-time head coach, go to Detroit where no one has expectations, because you would have all the time in the world.
Go to college.
Or start in college. I mean, Dan Hurley turned down LeBron James for a reason.
Look, hey, and he was genius for doing it too. A lot of people was like, why would you take NBA money, man? That's NBA money. Nah, bro. Sometimes you got to think with your head. Sometimes you just got to
touch that firestorm that is the LA Lakers, man.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
I would have stayed in college too. Because I'm like, look, hey, you're not going to blame me for LeBron because he's been in the league 20 plus years. And when things go south, no, I'm going to stay here and win championships and keep on signing these bonuses. And because I probably enjoy recruiting. So I'm by all means, yeah.
But it's like, if you want to be like JJ Redick, if you want to work with the Lakers, man, just go as an assistant coach and start somewhere. You know what I mean? Don't start right in the whole firestorm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I get some experience, because if you start brand new, you're gonna have your rocky roads, and LA is a place where it's like the smallest bad thing that happens is, imagine you drop a pebble into a puddle of water, right? In LA, that puddle, that little ripple that happens when a stone hits a little puddle on the side of the road, that's basically a tsunami coming in LA.
Dude,
so it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing here?
The media circus that is LA. Oh, hell no. I would not do that.
I guess maybe that's just our person. JJ Redick might love it. I don't know.
I mean, look, hey.
I hope he does good in LA, but like on the same side, like, bro, with my two eyes, I can see when guys go to LA, it just doesn't end well for them.
If you can weather the storm of what we've seen so far in that series on Hulu Clipped, I guess you can survive anything. Which, if you haven't seen that, anybody hasn't seen it yet, you need to go watch it.
I mean, the dude, you talked about LeBron wanting Pat Riley fired. He wanted him replaced with Dave Fizdale. How did that work out for the Knicks and every other team that tried hiring him?
Horribly.
Just saying. LeBron's not the best coach evaluator.
Exactly. This is why you need to stop listening to him. Go get who you want. And if he doesn't...
I'm forgetting. Who was the Cavs' first coach before Ty Lue? I forgot his name.
You know,
he got a guy fired before Ty Lue took over, and then he was trying to get rid of Ty Lue too.
You know, Hendricks actually. You know, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let Hendricks tell you that story. Hendricks, let him tell you the story about that. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. Also, too. So. Speaking of the NHL,
David Blatt, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I know the white guy. I can't remember his name.
Florida Panthers have to travel 2,500.
We have to talk about the finals.
The Celtics got their 18th ring. On
Yay!
17
Jaylen Brown rightfully deserves Finals MVP. Not a single soul wanted Jason Tatum to win it with his corny ass.
The plot twist of all of it is, back in 2008, the Celtics beat the Lakers and then in 2024, the Celtics
numbers
won another one.
24.
8-24. How about that?
Lakers fans roll over, cry.
Exactly. All Kobe's numbers against your arch rival.
Mm-hmm.
They
want to pass you for most rings now. I mean, Tatum was so corny with that whole thing. It was like he tried doing the Kevin Garnett anything is possible thing with the Dora the Explorer. We did it type shit. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, bro?
And no, that's why I was like, turn this off. That's why I was like, I'm gonna go watch my murder mystery shows on Hulu, not Hulu, but on Max. And literally,
yeah, that was rough watching. Then he did he tried to redo the Kobe pose. Like, come on, dude, be your own dude. Then he copied Kanye's "Well, I guess we'll never know" speech. And then the funniest part of all of it is the team went to Miami to celebrate their ring. That's how boring Boston is.
Of course, dude.
You gone to your biggest op in the conference city to go celebrate your ring. Like, you're not flexing that. Like, Miami doesn't care what you do, but it's like, you can't even do it in your own city. You have to go to another city to celebrate. Like,
exactly.
What does that say about Boston, Nick?
We've been known that was a very boring city. We've known that for a while. Tom Brady left Boston. Tom Brady chose Tampa.
They come to Florida. Everybody comes to Florida to enjoy themselves. They can't do it up in Massachusetts. Just
Bruins fans would love to live down here. Red Sox fans would love to live down here.
But then they want to root for their team from up there down here. Like, nah, that's not happening here. Come on. Anyways, then I said there was something else I had to talk about with the NBA. Oh yes, not Cavs, Bulls. I have to have this little tirade first. Alex Caruso.
That's where I was going with it, because Magic Johnson was so upset, saying, "Man, they have more banners than us." I'm like, "Sir, you chose Lonzo Ball over that man,
Tatum."
Yeah, over.
Yeah, you went and bought into the hype. You brought up Lonzo Ball. You know what? Let me have my 2-second thing. This season finale, I'm gonna have some fun. Anyways, all right, Jason Tatum for me to deal with the devil. Why? You look at the injuries Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball have suffered. Those shits are not normal. When I tell you, nobody does be getting TOS like Fultz got when he came out in Philly. That stuff was random as hell. Lonzo Ball, ankle injury. I mean, we kind of knew the ankles would act up. The ankle injuries he had his rookie year in LA, like, that was bad. Then he went. That knee injury he has, that nobody has those type of ACL type. Both of them tore their ACLs. Both of them have had issues in the knees that have had ACL. Most guys tear the ACLs to come back nowadays with modern medicine. Those guys cannot stay healthy for their lives because of some wacky injury every other time. Like, literally, Fultz broke his toe in his bedroom.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes that little corner piece of the bed, when you stub your toe.
Yeah, but like it is catchy sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. But like you get what I mean. Like, Tatum has been pretty much healthy his whole career compared to the two guys drafted in front of him who have had the wonkiest injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, the way you watch that photo of him standing in the back behind Fultz and Ball, you're like, this man made to deal with the devil type of shit. I'm just saying. That's my mini conspiracy theory for the week, guys. Subscribe for more. Anyways. Alex Caruso to the Thunder for the fleece of the century of Josh Giddey. When I say that as the fleece of the century, I mean, like, god damn, how do you get a guy? You traded a dude who literally was unplayable in the playoffs for the best role player available in the league. For a 1-for-1 when you have 18 draft first round picks in your Walker chest. Like, I don't know if that's horrible asset management by the Bulls, man. Like, horrible. They could have got at least 2 to 3 first-round picks for Caruso at the trade deadline, and they held on to him. And you trade him for Josh Giddey, and then you say they were looking to replace Lonzo Ball with a guy who has all-star potential. Man, have you seen Josh Giddey this year? Man spent more time getting points scored in high schools than he was than the NBA. I can't say it straight face.
You're horrible.
Anyways.
Horrible. My God. My
Can't say
God.
it with a straight face tonight. Oh my god. Anyways, all right. Straight face back on. If you have a kid in Chicago, keep an eye on them. Make sure they have no 6'6" or whatever, however tall he is, coming into your high school with white hair, white dude with black hair, looking Australian. Yeah, don't want him in your high school. Just say.
God. All right. So, Florida Panthers, they have to travel 2,541 miles again back to Edmonton for game 6.
Their fault.
Very much their fault. So I'm going to go ahead and ask this too. It already got interesting. It already done got interesting now.
Wait. I need a pipe. You know how the guys like in those murder mysteries go bloop, 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 with the tube. I forgot what it's called.
It's a little like Sherlock Holmes pipe.
Yeah. And you go boop, 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 kind of thing. Yeah, that is me watching this and be like,
yeah, no, because it shouldn't have happened. This is the worst thing you could have let happen now. So, Florida, if you blow a 3-0 lead,
you got Edmonton buzzing now. You got McDavid. McDavid is on fire now. He woke the beast up there. Draisaitl just needs this to get going, and he will blow the top off of you. Those are 2 of the top 5, 2 of the top 4 best players in the league on that team. You get them rolling. You can't stop them. And they got started rolling.
Yeah. So tomorrow night's going to be really interesting. I think it's tomorrow
night. I'll tell you what about Edmonton, right? They made it's a subtle change. Not many people will notice it. But like hockey fans will notice it. Casuals won't. They made some tweaks on their defensive line because like they're on their terrible series so far. Like, he can't defend squat on him. But then you have a guy like I want to say it's Cody Ceci. It's like they have a couple guys on the defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are very like they're veterans, vet presence. You know, coaches like to run the vet guys during the playoffs. Sometimes the vet guys' legs just terrible right now. They ain't got no juice in them. Looking terrible and getting killed on the other side, right? They got their first round pick from a couple years ago. They said, okay, fine, we're gonna put you in the lineup, see what you got. Man's been cooking recently too in Broberg. So you're watching that as like subtle changes, get some younger guys in on the lines, get them moving faster. Now they're playing better defense on Florida, and you're like, some guys are like, well, where the hell was this whole time? It's the stuff that Jason Kidd didn't do to help Mavericks adjust to beat Boston is what you're seeing Edmonton do, which is ironic because they got their head coach fired midway through this season and they're on their interim head coach.
And they're in the
nobody's talking about that. Like Edmonton's on their second head coach for the season, and they're in the Stanley Cup. It's like
it is possible.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up to make sure. I'm pretty sure he got fired in like the first 2 weeks of the season because Edmonton started off really bad.
See, folks, and this is what makes hockey so enjoyable. This is what makes hockey enjoyable. All I will say, I got to give kudos while Ace looks that up. I got to give kudos to Florida because they went empty net.
Yeah, he got
a minute.
Yeah,
and they basically got a huge save that would have put that game out of reach. Even though the game did get out of reach at one point, eventually on the second empty netter. But like, Florida showed tremendous effort. But honestly, it's a fact of you can't let a team hang around like that. Then you create problems for yourself. So now you have to go into Edmonton with the mentality
across the continent to play for it.
Exactly. So go ahead, Ace.
Weston, 13 games into the season, they were 3-9-1. November's 12th. So the season started, I believe. So it was less than a month, and it was like 3 weeks into the season.
Mm-hmm.
13 games in. Fired their head coach. Hired a dude, actually, ironically. He had head coaching experience, but he never had any NHL head coaching experience. He coached in the Canadian Hockey League, the minors, like for kids, the junior leagues, right?
Okay.
Brought him in. Gone. So it's kind of like I said, coaching, like last year, we got a Kev from Tally.
Oh, go ahead.
They got to win Game 7 or not. Nah, we're Lightning fans. We don't want to see the Ops win.
I have no dog in this fight, honestly. I picked Florida to win.
I picked Florida to win because I figured it was rigged for them to win after how the BS was going in the Lightning series, where the rest were in making up crap to say the Lightning didn't score a goal. So yeah, this shit's rigged. Anyways, that I've had I think I had Florida in 7 or 6.
We have to scroll back and check.
I'd have to check that one. But anyways, yeah, so Florida is I kind of figured they would win, but Edmonton, they making adjustments right now that the previous head coach, when he was getting his butt beat by when he was within Calgary a couple of years ago, lost to Colorado, I believe, once, or was it Vegas? They have Edmonton with that old head coach, they have some crazy playoff losses, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy coming in, first time as a head coach. Nobody's talking about this. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, but he's in there in that Stanley Cup Finals game, 3-2 right now?
Yeah, they're down 3-2.
Man could make some his. Well, actually, he wouldn't make history because I believe there's 4 times a team has ever come back from down 3-0, and one of them was in the Stanley Cup.
Let's see. Has a team ever overcome?
No, they've had it.
3-0 series deficit.
We could check it. Was one time was in the Stanley Cup.
Okay, list of teams that have overcome 3-0 series deficits. Yes, it was the Maple Leafs in the 1942 Stanley Cup Final. They overcame a 3-0 series deficit. And in the NHL,
the second time.
It's been done twice. The LA Kings did it in the Western Conference first round against the San Jose Sharks.
You never know. We might see it a third time. Just saying.
Yeah, we might. Also, the 2010 Eastern Conference semifinals, the Philadelphia Flyers beat the Boston Bruins. They overcame a 3-0 goal deficit.
It happened 4 times. So there's probably one more in there somewhere.
New York Islanders, 1975 Stanley Cup quarterfinals. They came back while down 3-0 to defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That is the 4th one. Yep.
So
yeah, the 5th one of it. So yeah, that'd be interesting.
Let's see. Unsuccessful comebacks. So there has been that as well. You had the New York Rangers
lost in Game 7.
The Bruins won Game 7 in triple overtime to hold off the 1939 New York Rangers.
Okay, we're not talking about pre-World War II now. Come on now.
All right, fine. Well, here we go. Here's another one. 2011 Western Conference quarterfinals.
There we go. I think I remember this one.
The Canucks won Game 7 in overtime after the Blackhawks tied it 1-1 with a shorthanded goal with 1:56 left.
That was the Western Conference Finals, right?
Yeah, Western Conference quarterfinals.
Yeah. Oh, quarterfinals. I remember when Vancouver, that series was insane. Vancouver won to the Stanley Cup and lost to Boston that year.
Should the Blackhawks have won, it would have been the 3rd straight playoff year that they beat the Canucks, as they eliminated them in the second round in 2009 and 2010. And then 2011 Western Conference semifinals. Second time in the same year a team forced a Game 7 after being down 3-0.
Wow.
And it's also happened at least one time in baseball. 2004 American League Championship. Red Sox came back and beat the Yankees. That was the year that the Red Sox won the World Series.
I didn't even know baseball had one.
Yeah, basically, once you get to the conference finals.
Yeah, it gets to best of 7. Yeah. It went from best of 5 to best of 7.
Yeah. It goes
because wild card is one and done in the divisionals, 1 and get best of 5.
Yes, that's that is how it is. So, yep, I can't believe baseball's only had one though. I'm surprised baseball's only had one in the long history of the league.
They have more 3-1s.
Yes. Yes, that's very true.
I think the funniest part with Dallas, right, was that everybody was switching their profile pictures on Twitter to Luka Doncic, even though it was like that was so corny. Once I saw the Dallas Mavericks main Twitter account do it, I was like, oh yeah, this is over. I tried doing my magic circle thing like how I did for like manifesting or whatever the hell it was. Because I was trolling with that during when the magic played and it was working, I think. I'm superstitious like that. Because they weren't winning when I was doing it, which was hilarious. So I tried it with the Mavericks. It worked terribly. It didn't work at all. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing.
It's
I can't counteract the Mavericks being that corny with the main account doing that crap.
It's wild when you think about it. It's like, man, Dallas let you down. The Mavs let you down. The Stars let you down.
Let you down big time. And the Cowboys are the Cowboys. That's hilarious. But don't they have the Rangers? Didn't the Rangers win the World Series or something?
Yeah, the Texas Rangers did win the World Series. That's right. 2022 or 2023. Yeah, it was 2023.
Who won last year?
It was the Rangers. 2023 was the Rangers. That's right.
Yeah, I love that.
2022 was the Braves.
Yeah.
So at least
all doom and gloom, but I mean, remember I was saying like, imagine if both the Stars and the Mavericks win the finals. I said that, and immediately after, Stars got eliminated, and then the Mavericks choked in the finals. I was like, oh yeah.
Brought into the hype that you and Chad were selling, where it was like, you were like, oh, it's gonna probably be the Stars that take this thing home this year. And then,
the Stars. How do I say this? What happened to the Stars? The Stars are interesting. They have a mix of old guys and young guys, right? Mm-hmm. But the top of the team is old guys, while that second layer of the team are the young guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
The top layer, they fell off. Like when I say fell off, I mean like I can't say that. Never mind. I'll get canceled if I say that one. Okay, they fell harder than nope. Still can't say that one either. Fell harder than the London Bridge. I don't think I can get offended. I can't offend nobody if I say that one, right?
I mean, there's a children's song about it, so I don't think people get that offended by that.
Yeah, because the other two what I said would have definitely got me in trouble, so let me shut up on that. Anyways, the Stars, like those top guys, Pavelski, Sagan, Jamie Benn, bro, those guys, they fell off like that. Like they could not skate for their lives, and that's what got them exposed by what's them face called Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals. Like I said, you get McDavid and Draisaitl rolling, they got speed. They will kill you with that speed. And what happened to Dallas was old guys' legs could not keep up with that speed.
Damn. It's crazy. All right, so
movie time, and then let's wrap it up.
Let's talk about it.
I'd have done you building better. Let's talk about national security, but we could talk about the Expendables too. Because Martin Lawrence was in that one. And Bad Boys.
National security?
Yeah. You never seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that. Okay, so we're talking about national security tonight.
I guess, yeah. I was kind of trying to talk about Martin. I've seen where I don't know what is going on with it, but that man has been all over like Netflix and Hulu since Bad Boys came back out.
Oh, dude, of course.
Dude. Yeah, so I was like, since Bad Boys, let's talk our favorite Will Smith and Martin Lawrence movies kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one, I think. I think that one would have worked. What do you think about that?
That works. Okay, favorite Martin Lawrence film that wasn't Bad Boys? I gotta go. Honestly, I mean, the nostalgic part of me wants to say House Party, but he wasn't like the main attraction of that movie. It was Kid and Play. But I would say Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins was pretty funny, I thought. And as far as Will Smith goes, my favorite film from him was, I want to say, even though he did a great job in Ali, I'm going to go with, what was that movie he did? Not I Am Legend, but the one he did with his son where they went back to Earth.
That recent came out like in the last 7 years or something like that, right?
It was like when they went back.
Not Gemini or Ryan. It was like a constellation type of name, right?
It was like After Earth or something that they did together. Him and his. I'm trying to figure. That's
not what I'm Yeah, might have to Google it. Let me see.
Let me see. After Earth had to be the name of it.
No, I'm thinking Gemini Man, but that's him versus him. After Earth, yeah, him, 2013.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that movie. That movie was pretty interesting. I remember going to go see that while on vacation with my family before I moved. It was in Daytona. But yeah, it was that was a good movie, I thought. But I also thought I Am Legend was pretty good too. So I mean, he made a couple of good films and stuff. So I have an appreciation for Will Smith as far as being an actor goes.
As far as being an actor, I feel like there's something else. What is he only as an actor?
There was Hitch as well. Hitch was good. I can watch Hitch over and over and over again. As sad as that is to say, probably.
All right, for me, probably Big Mama. That one's hilarious. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen them.
Bro scored like in the most weirdest way ever. I was like, bro, you gonna score with this lady? And like, sheesh. And like, when the two of them, like, dang, bro, that one's hilarious. And I'm like, every time I see Terrence Howard now, I just be like, bro, imagine if they just say the Skrulls when the Skrulls took over Rhodey. That happened when they switched from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I'm going off topic, but yeah, you know what I mean. But anyway, he was like doing like 3 different roles in that movie, and that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But Will Smith probably. Let me see. Probably Men in Black.
Yes. Ooh. I can remember
the one when he sees his father and how he and
that was the third one. That was the third one.
The third one, right? Basically, the whole series, I could say.
Yeah. Before they went international, I agree.
No, we're not talking about international. We're not. We do not. That movie, I had such high hope for it. The trailer was that movie is it's a case of great trailer, terrible movie. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's kind of like what's it called? That's kind of like Stomp the Art, where they had Chris Brown and all like the promos and stuff and all the trailers for the movie, only to kill him in the first 5 minutes of the film, just to get people to go see the movie.
Another Will Smith one I like probably you've seen King Richard, right? The one with Serena Williams, like the rise of Serena Williams and Venus Williams. I like that one too. I mean, Fresh Prince is still the best one for he's done.
Oh yeah, the series, the TV.
Talking.
That's forever famous. So is Martin. Martin was decent. It was decent, but
yeah, I think we did good tonight with the movies, right?
We did. We
talk about Bad Boys, like we keeping it in trend. I mean, unless you want to talk about the 5 times Kendrick Lamar just bodied the Canadian last night. That was hilarious.
Oh, I didn't do honestly. I'm gonna be real. I have not even seen that in full detail yet. I'm going to though, but I've heard
he had almost every major dude from LA show up into that thing. Like
guys
from LA, like he had Dr. Dre, he had Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, a bunch of Clippers guys. I was like, this man bringing out everybody, and then he started with Euphoria, I believe, and then he went with Not Like Us and just was. How do I say this? It was body shot after body shot after body shot on Drake, and I was like, man, like even LeBron James was there, and then somebody mentioned, I don't know if Drake was ever following him, but they checked Drake's thing, he unfollowed LeBron. That was hilarious.
That man ain't gonna be able to show his face in California ever again. Ever again. I wouldn't even do. You can't do no show on the West Coast. You can't. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Golly, that's funny.
People are saying they talked more about that concert than they did about the finals, and then they talked more about JJ Redick getting hired than they were about the finals. That's how bad the finals were.
Oh, dude, of course, dude. That final
was so bad.
What was I doing that night? I was watching Back to the Future.
I was watching One Piece. I didn't care. I stopped caring it.
I flipped a coin between if I should watch the second Back to the Future or if I should watch the finals.
But I'm gonna be real with Back to the Future. I only liked the first one, the second and third. Like the second one was all right. The third one was stupid.
Yeah, no, the third one they went too far back in time. I agree. Look, it's still talking
Old West and all that crap. Like, what the hell?
Still talking about movies, man.
We're just You're just wilding out here.
It's
It's season finale. I might have a. Actually, let's just get into the wrap, and I'll say it after.
but yeah,
So
folks,
we talk about those movies, but then again, you won't have another movie talk for a while, because Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for another great episode of the Running Gun Podcast. With yours truly, Ace and J Peeps. You will not see us again probably until August.
Tis true. We got NFL preseason breakdown season coming up now. So now,
Yeah,
we're gonna be
the
sitting around.
videos will be popping out.
Yes,
You'll see the Full Penny Talk crew showing back up.
yes, you will. Honestly, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably entrust Ace and Hendrix to do a AFC North breakdown together.
You're gonna do me and Hendrix again. You saw. We're gonna.
More power to you. Go right ahead.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's gonna be hilarious.
I'm gonna let you guys collect whatever you want, and y'all can go
We'll
right.
do it after my birthday, so then we'll just both be drunk and do it. That will be hilarious.
Dear God. Oh God. All right, fine. So me and Chad. Me and Chad already called dibs on NFC South and probably NFC East or AFC East or AFC West.
I'll just do the ones nobody else wants to do because I can do them, so it'll be fine.
Sounds good. But oh dear God, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, we're now in preseason breakdown season, I guess.
Yep.
So yeah,
and I will be doing probably I might do an NBA offseason preview video sometime in the next 2 weeks, or probably the week before the draft or the week of the draft. Maybe probably most likely it'll be like a draft recap type thing, and then free agency preview, because that window spans when the most trades happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was surprised we got the Caruso trade today, so we might see some more before the draft, but most likely it'll be between draft night and the first night of free agencies when all the fun stuff pops off in the NBA. So I might do a video during that time.
Let's get into it, man. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, folks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us this season. Also, thank you so much to Coach Henry for joining us this season. We're going to try to do a better job of getting more guests to come and join us, of course.
Yeah, I've been slacking on it. I've been beefing with the Saints too much to actually have any Saints reporters come on.
Life's been lifing, dude. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Lifing.
I could probably get some Magic guys, but that's about it.
But yeah, folks, stay safe, stay blessed. Football season's almost here. Be on the lookout for content coming from us. And as always, we will see you here in a few weeks.
Enjoy it.